ask you about the lineup.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you.
But when's the last time that, I can't remember the last time you had every single player healthy and available to go. Can you remember?
I think last year we had a few of those. Maybe didn't last too long, but yeah, I think last year was very good in terms of injuries. What I recall is just a few muscular injuries and that, and a couple knocks. But I think it was, well, actually the number said that it was the best year in terms of muscular injuries for Atlanta United. So I think it was pretty good. This year I think we've been pretty good at that. So we expect to continue like that.
When you have everyone, what's the point of emphasis for you and the coaching staff when you're figuring out who's going to be in the starting lineup and who's going to be on the bench for like Saturday's game?
Well, the form takes a lot on that because we have, I think, a good group of players that can impact or can be available to be starters. I feel like I have a very good group of players that are capable of. It's for me more the form, the confidence, how we see the connections also at times, the pairs, what matters, the connection between a couple of players at times is better than others, and at times that plays into the decision making. But what I would say is there's competition. I can guarantee you there are a few positions where it's really hard to pick one or the other. But yeah, we'll try our best to pick the best lineup possible. And yeah, to have them sharp. I think now that we have everyone available, for us the emphasis is everyone is sharp, everyone is confident. So today, tomorrow, we will be focused on that.
¿Qué tal, Felipe? You have some new players, new faces, and some of them in some really key positions like central midfield and center back as well. You mentioned sharpness. How early do you expect to see this team playing as well as you want them? You know, what is the expectation in your eyes? Like, you know this team better than anybody, but when will they be playing their sharpest football, do you think?
Well, as you know, in football, that's hard to predict. I would say as soon as possible is the idea. Hopefully this Saturday we start to see some of the things that we have seen they doing in the training sessions in preseason. I think they are very good players. We have quality players, and they start to know each other a little bit better as well. You know, we had a little spell last year with 10 games where we were pretty much the same, minus a couple reinforcements in the center back and the center mid, but pretty much it's the same team attacking. So we expect that cohesion to continue. It always grows. I mean, you never, as a coach, you are never happy, and you never said, okay, this is the team. It's really hard. You're always looking for things to improve. So I would say that we expect the team to be at a very, very good level this Saturday, but from there, how much we can grow, I mean, time will tell.
And I think I know the answer to this one, but there are now confirmed reports that there's a $20 million offer perhaps from Botafogo for Thiago and Vela. You're going to get asked this a lot. What is the status there? What is your role in all this, knowing that this is something that's going to be a story throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware of that. Again, I always deflect these type of things to Carlos because he's the one in charge of that. What I would say to the specific question, what is my role, is just making sure that Thiago is okay. There's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of distractions for a very young kid, that his only scene is to love football and to play very good. So then he attracts a lot of attention, a lot of interest, and a lot of distractions in what is more important for him, which is playing football. So my only role in all this puzzle is making sure that Thiago is focused, that Thiago is concentrated, that Thiago is paying attention to the important things, and he deflects this to his agents, to his people, and then I do the same, deflecting this to Carlos. So Thiago and I were on the same page on the most important is Saturday in New England, and scoring a hat trick or putting a couple assists, and that's where I want Thiago.
Hey Coach, I'm curious, you're talking about the new faces, gelling, still getting your feet under you to get to play your best ball. How do you balance maybe playing more conservative versus seeing what you have? And I guess what I mean by that is an example with, you have a new face in Steon back there. Brooks loves to get up in the middle third and final third. Do you want him full throttling, making all those runs early on? Or hey, be smart about your runs, let's see what we have while we still all kind of get acquainted with chemistry and better understanding how each other plays?
No, the straight answer is no. We don't like conservative. We want to go all in. We want to excite our fans. We want to play attractive football, and that means we take risks for us is calculated risk, and which means we have attacking-minded fullbacks. The conservative side maybe comes in, okay, if Brooks goes, Caleb has to stay, and how we defend as we are attacking and defending the transition, preventing transition moments, but no restrictions for Brooks to go forward. We want him attacking. It's about timing to me, but I would say our mindset is not now to be conservative. Our mindset is to be more aggressive, actually.
There was a lot made of, during training camp and whatnot and preseason about the chemistry of this team and gelling. Is it where you would like it to be right now going into the home opener?
I think we're at a good spot. Again, I don't know if we're in our best yet. I mean, a lot of things happened there. I mean, whether Estienne had a little bit of something and couldn't play a couple games, and Thiago not being part of any of it, Edwin Mosquera, who's another part that can be very good to balance opponent who wasn't there, was injured, Derek Etienne. So there were a couple of things that Gigi had a little bit of something too, so he couldn't play a couple games. So again, it wasn't like we had the full roster for the whole preseason and the chemistry is 100%. There are a couple of things, but I think we're in a very good place in terms of that. But I think as the season starts to progress, we're going to be better and better. That's my prediction.
It's your third home opener here in Atlanta, and you talked about it when Atlanta approached you and you took the job, what it meant and how Atlanta's going to get your attention every time. Has it lived up to it? And just what are your feelings going into your third home opener with the club?
Yeah, excited, motivated, blessed by the opportunity to be here for this long. I would say with the responsibility, trying to get a very successful year for the club. And yeah, my only focus is how I can affect and motivate and put the players in the best so they can produce more victories this year. And hopefully we can be in a good position for playoffs. So that's my mindset. But again, blessed and very grateful for being where I am.
Last year it felt like it was a whirlwind when Gigi came. He came in the preseason, yet he was able to have Newcomer of the Year award, then second, for the Golden Boot. So what are your expectations for a healthy and rested Gigi this season?
Well, even more productive, probably on the field. I think his average goal per game, and that is very high. So we expect the same at least, or a little bit more. But on the other side, also he's been blending better with the players and the leadership side of Gigi. I think we expect a little bit more from him this year because now he's more integrated in the system. So that leadership on and off the field is very important for us, that he takes that responsibility at a good standard. You saw a little bit of that. We always come back to that play where he passes the ball to Shande and he misses, and kind of it was a silent moment for the stadium, and then he's the one that grabs Shande, stand up and cheers for support to him with the whole stadium, and the whole stadium supports Shande. That's a very good example of what we expect from Gigi in the tough moments, in the difficult moments, from a teammate or from the team. I think he's capable of. So again, yes, I think he will not have problems scoring goals, but the challenge for him will be in his impact to the whole team. So yeah, but very happy with him. He will be rested. I hope also less injuries, so hopefully he can be fitter and he can perform in many more games than last year.
Gonzalo, what are your thoughts on this new Open Cup format with just 8 MLS teams? And are you glad that Atlanta is one of those teams?
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I can see what is going on there with Open Cup. I've been always a fan of that tournament because I had the pleasure to win it one time with Seattle, and it meant a lot to me. It was probably my first trophy in the US, and it meant a lot. So I really like that tournament. Again, where that tournament is going, I don't know. It's not up to me, but if we are in, we're going to compete. That's what I can tell you. We have to see at that moment how are we in terms of numbers in MLS and this, in terms of what type of lineup we present. But what I can tell you is the mentality of this team should be always aimed for winning every trophy that we're participating in. So that's the approach I have.
So you're really close to your sports science department, and it seems like over the years you've kind of progressed the fitness levels in the beginning of the season more and more. With such fixture congestion this year, where is the team at compared to this time last year and the year before? And how do you keep that up throughout the season?
Well, it's I would say it's always teamwork on that. It's always the collaboration within the departments in the club, and we are trying to do our best in terms of planning, in terms of methodology, in terms of resting times, working times, when we overload the players, when we rest them, what is the appropriate amount of training sessions for certain players that we know are going to go through qualifying internationally, or they're going to have Olympics, or they're going to have maybe Euros, maybe Copa America. So our sports science is amazing, in my opinion. They already know all these things, and they already have a plan for each one of them in terms of what type of load we need for all of them. And that's amazing to me. That makes my life way easier. So we can plan a week, but we know that this week will affect later on in 2 months, in 3 months, and they are aware of that. So that's the planning that I think is paying off, and I know they will be prepared for whatever condensed fixture we have, whether it's in Open Cup, whether it's in Leagues Cup, or later in the MLS season. We will be prepared for that, and whether we need more resting, overloading certain players, we have the blessing to send some players to the second team so they can get also fit and they can rhythm. So whenever we need them, they are in rhythm, they have minutes on the belt. So I would say that collaboration within the academy, second team, sports science, medical department, coaching staff, it's been amazing, and we've been able to have a good system in place to cope with those challenges.
Carlos Gil has had a lot of success against Atlanta United. From watching the film with him against y'all in the past and the first couple of games this season, how can y'all try to limit his effectiveness?
Well, I would say number one, Carlos Gil have had a lot of success against a lot of teams. Yeah. We are one of those. He's a fantastic player, and I have a lot of respect for him and for his team. They're a very good team. They have very good players. Him is probably the brightest of all of the players there. But again, the focus for me is more us. It's more us. It's more how we play. It's more us keeping the ball more than them, being more dangerous than them. And in that way, we give them less the ball to New England. Hopefully, they see less Carlos Gil, and from there, he can create less chances for them. The other thing is, of course, whenever they have the ball, we have to be aware of where is he on the field. I'm not a big fan of man-for-man marking the whole game, but I would say that, we will have something specific for him where we can be aware of where he is, and from there we can be more aggressive, because, of course, he's the highlight of the team, and we need to be aware of that.
Last two, Reggie and Georgia.
Coach, obviously there's kind of a difference between how you guys maybe looked on the field and home versus the way last season. You now have a game under your belt from this year. Heading into the first home match, obviously you want the result to be different from the first week, but how do you kind of avoid the team maybe playing totally different or looking totally different like it did last year?
What do you mean by playing differently?
Not differently, but like maybe how do you avoid it being such a difference between maybe how you guys sometimes look on the field at home versus at home?
Oh, the difference there, yeah. Well, that's for me the gap that we need to put together. Like the performances, most of the performances at home were very good, even the ones that maybe we didn't get the 3 points. Normally were very good, and big majority of the games away we were not that good. So we need to fix that. We talk about certain things, whether it was stats, for example, HID, VHID when we play away is less than when we play at home. Out of possession when we play away is less than when we play at home. So certain things like we can focus on how is our approach, but more than anything, we need to be the same team. We try to play the same home and away, and at times it's easier to say than to do because the opponent also wants the same, but we want to be mentally strong, and we've been investing a lot of time talking about mental strength, deal with adversity, adapt quickly to difficult situations. So we've been doing that since preseason in training sessions. Yesterday we had to train in turf because of the rain, so it's things that put players out of their comfort zone, and they have to deal with that and cope with that. And we've been trying to message that, but the the reality is, yes, we have to do better when we play away, and we'll try to do that by playing the same style with the same aggression and the same intensity that we do at home.
Hey Coach, we were talking to Brooks about Atlanta United's culture, and he was saying that you created a leadership group. I was just curious, what was your, what made you create that group, and how does that help establish that culture with the rest of the guys?
Well, I would say that that's not completely the culture of the club. I mean, that helps, and that's for me more empower the players to have a voice that they listen and they can deal with situations on their own. At the end, as a leader, one of your main responsibilities is to create more leaders, and that's what I try to do with that group of leadership, is creating the kind of players with different backgrounds that are showing characteristics as leaders. So not all of them are the perfect leader or the main leader or something like that, but we try to create a group where we talk about things. We talk about what is going on in the locker room, how we can affect that, how are the training sessions. They can have a space where they can talk about, they can have a voice with the coaching staff or with me. And that's the purpose, where we can together, not just me telling them, hey, we have to do this or that, is listening to them, and we together, we create the environment where we want to live every day. So when they come in the mornings, they're happy to be here in the building, saying hi to everyone and enjoying the training sessions and being together. But more important than anything is what I was just saying, is in the tough moments, that's where I need that leadership group to be strong, where I need them to say, hey, slow down a little bit, let's come together, let's be a little bit more united and solve the problem among us. And that's what I want to create there. So yeah, happy that Brooks brought it up. It feels like it means a lot for that group, and I think it's a very good group, very good human beings, and yeah, I think that's gonna help for sure. Okay, thank you.